fight fans, we got UFC 278 this Saturday, and on the undercard, we got Jose Aldo versus Merab. And guys, I'm excited for this one. Very excited because my favorite division in the UFC is the bantamweight division. I love it. I love it. I can't get enough of these guys. These guys, there's just so much action, so much matchups lined up. We got Corey Sandhagen still fighting in September. We got, on the same card, TJ Dillashaw and Aljamain Sterling. You got Peter Yan and Sugar Sean O'Malley. There's just so much action going on, guys. So much action. Just last week, we had Dominic Cruz versus Chito Vera. So, yes, I love this division. So, what about this fight? You got Jose Aldo, who's a legend. A legend, Who remembers him in WEC? Good God, this guy was a beast. That knockout over Cub Swanson, that dominant performance over Matt Brown when he got the title. His performances when he had the title in the early days of UFC with Chad Mendes, that knockout, that great fight with Chad Mendes again, the Korean Zombie. There's just, the list goes on and on and on. Kenny Florian. There's just, like I said, you can go on all day. I would literally need to make a 2-hour video to talk about Jose Aldo. Then you got Merab. He has some notable wins, and people say, and I agree, by far probably the best engine, the best gas tank in the whole UFC. I mean, this guy's gas levels is just phenomenal. This guy can fight literally all day, every day, if you give him that chance. He has some pretty good, tough victories. He had that one fight where Marlon Moraes, if I'm correct and such. And then we have Jose Aldo, who has come over some recent victories of himself, with that one fight with Pedro Munoz, with Rob Font. So, ever since Jose Aldo dropped down, and I'll admit, guys, I wasn't the biggest fan. I remember hearing about how he struggled to make that weight cut at featherweight when he was the featherweight king. Now he dropped down to 135. It's just like, whoa, dude, that's 10 pounds. What are you trying to do? And, he had that fight with Peter Yan. It was a little bit good for him in the early rounds, but then just got completely dominated, is what it is. But then ever since then, he's just been on this run, with Chito Vera, like I said, Rob Font, Pedro Munoz. These guys ain't no pushovers. These guys are in the top 10 very easily. And we saw with, like I said, with Chito Vera, just knocked out Dominic Cruz. So with that said, who am I picking? I can't deny Jose Aldo. Jose Aldo always comes out somehow, some way on top. When the odds are stacked against him, I should say. Not always, but when the odds are stacked up against him, he always somehow pulls out that victory. And here's why. Because Jose Aldo's experience. Merab, again, I remember him from Dana White looking for the fight. He has grown. Don't get me wrong. He has grown as a fighter. He's been in there with some very talented fighters in, like I said, Marlon Moraes and a few others. And he does train out of Matt Serra's gym. He is a great friend with the champ, Aljamain Sterling, who is probably going to be in his corner this fight. But with Jose Aldo's experience, with Jose Aldo's striking, with his takedown defense, because we know Merab is a great wrestler as well. And of course he should be, being training with guys like Aljamain Sterling, and of course being a great grappler. You look at Matt Serra, Jesus Christ, probably one of the best ever. But yeah, just Jose Aldo's experience is just going to say a lot. It's going to say a lot when they're in the cage with each other. And that's why my pick would definitely go with him. And not only just for that reason, but also the fact that, like I said, Merab is definitely has a gas tank that can last him all day, all night, a whole week, a whole month, whatever it is. That guy can keep fighting nonstop. But with that said, this is a 3-round fight, which I believe favors Jose Aldo a lot more than Merab. Jose Aldo can definitely do work. You can you don't want to match him punch for punch, because Jose Aldo is no punk. That dude is a striker. He is by far one of the most brutal kicks ever. Who remembers that fight with Uriah Faber in WEC? Oof. Ooh, yeah, exactly. That's all I gotta say. But so with that said, Jose Aldo, if he wins, I can definitely see him getting the title shot. Not because he 100% deserves it. Again, there's a lot of other fighters out there. He could easily go against Corey Sandhagen. He could easily go against Sean O'Malley or another rematch with Peter Yan. But because of his name value, because it's Jose Aldo, who basically is the king of Brazil, or yeah, I guess you could say king of Brazil. I was gonna say king of Rio, but still, I could definitely see him getting that title shot for sure, 100%. If he loses, that's gonna be touch and feel he go, because again, Jose Aldo's been in the game so long. I mean, it feels like the guy's been in here, Jesus Christ, 20 years, maybe even longer, give or take. And what's funny is that he doesn't even look like he aged much. Since the beginning of his WEC days to now, he looks almost the exact same. It's like, Jesus Christ, this guy finding the fountain of youth or what? And then you got, so yeah, if he loses, do I think he wants to go through all this again to try to climb back to a title shot? I don't know. I could see him possibly doing maybe a legend fight. You got the two kings of WEC, Dominic Cruz versus Jose Aldo. Wouldn't hate that. Would not hate that at all. So that's a possibility there. As far as Merab goes, you got Merab. If he loses, it's no biggie. He's still in the beginning stages of his career. There's still a lot of challenges he could go through, like Pedro Munoz, Rob Font. There's a lot of other contenders out there that he can 100% go toe to toe with. But if he wins, now that's very interesting. Why? Because his best friend, one of his good friends, is the champion Aljamain Sterling. Now, does he get a title shot? I don't think so. Like I said, there's just so much more. It's a good stepping stone for him. Not saying Jose Aldo is a stepping stone, but it's a good way to get his name out there. Like, to beat Jose Aldo. Like I said, Jose Aldo is a huge name. Very popular name. So, what could be next? Possibly the winner of, right now, Chito Vera versus Dominic Cruz. You got Chito Vera on top. That could be a possibility. Or you could get Corey Sandhagen, who's no punk either. Very tough challenger. That could be up in the works. You still got, like I said, Sean O'Malley versus Peter Yan. There's just so many other ways he could go if he does pull out this victory. But my choice would be Jose Aldo. Like, subscribe, hit the notification button. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. Disagree, agree, let me know. See you guys in the next video.